ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुक्तापदगमनं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते भूपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्ते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च परिधानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So welcome to Science of Self-Realization reading. We are in the 7th chapter, and I don't know if we completed Ludwig. This letter we completed, right? Yes, what is beautiful. Okay, yeah, Mr. O'Grady, huh? Yeah, we were here only, and he's a poet, and he's asking, some questions to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is saying, come to Brahman realization. That means understand that your spirit, your spiritual in nature. Then he says that is also giving a name, but this name is eternal. It is not changing. And every other name is changing. Mexican, Canadian, Indian, man, woman, animal, every other name is changing. So we acquire Krishna's quality, then it is called Soham. Oneness. Okay, we'll start from here. So can someone read O'Grady and then someone read Srila Prabhupada?
I'll read Srila Prabhupada.
Okay. Anyone would read Mr. O'Grady?
Okay, Prabhuji, I will read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, start.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, start. That's giving it a name.
So, that's giving it's a name also.
Yes, a name must be there, but although, for example, your name is different from that of another Irishman, you nonetheless all feel that you are Irish. One's name may be different, but that does not matter. The quality should be one. That is required. When we acquire Krishna's quality, then despite different names, there will be peace. That is called Soham. The names of different people in a nation may be different, but all the people feel the same nationality. Varieties may exist, but if the quality is the same, that is oneness, Brahma Bhota. ब्रह्मभूत प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न कांक्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me.
Yeah, so this Brahman, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, this state, is that he sees everyone as spirit, not the external, but the internal identification is the spirit only, and I am also spirit. Okay, so even though people may be different and having different names and different coming from different families, areas, whatever, still if they come from the same Ireland, then they would all feel Irish, right? Similarly, a Brahma Bhuta stage person will see everyone as coming from the spiritual world. Everyone is spirit. The external doesn't matter, the internal is the what. And therefore he becomes happy, and he doesn't desire or hanker. Such a person then, can easily develop bhakti, that is devotional service to mother. Mother means Krishna. Mother means me. So Krishna spoke this, so you develop bhakti to Krishna. Labhate param. Okay.
Is
This
the
world, one second. This world is miserable for the materially infected person, but for the devotee, the entire world is as good as Vaikuntha. For the impersonalist, achieving the Brahman stage, becoming one with the Absolute is the last word.
absolute external or internal?
There is no external or internal. The Absolute is without duality.
Okay, but on an individual level,
We are not absolute. When we are situated on the absolute platform, we are absolute. However, now we are in the relative world. The absolute truth is here also, but our senses are not sufficiently elevated to understand that absolute truth. As long as we are under the control of time, there is no question of becoming absolute.
so absolute means life beyond time.
That is stated in the Bhagavad Gita 4.9. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tatpataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, takes his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. That is absolute. Going back home, back to Godhead. As long as one is in the material world and identifies with this body, he transmigrates from one body to another. That is not absolute. This is clearly stated here. When one goes back to the spiritual world, he attains the absolute position.
Mr. Ogre,
All right, but this is my question. Is it sufficient for us to sit here, you sitting there, and we as friends sitting with you engaging in the gentle art of conversion while across the ocean?
The point you have missed is that although you are sitting in one place and I am sitting in a different place, this difference does not affect our actual existence. We are both human beings. The conceptions of Irishmen, Englishmen, Protestant, Catholic, and so on are but different dresses. One has to become free from these designations. When one is thus free, he becomes purified. Sarvapadhi vinurmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesa sevanam bhakti ruchyate. When you have purified your senses and engaged those purified senses in the service of the master of the senses, Krishna, you have perfected your life. That is non duality and that is absolute.
But the system insists that you think yourself American or Indian or African or whatever.
Yes, materialistic society means duality.
But that is unavoidable. How can you avoid material extents?
Yeah, that is possible in Krishna consciousness. The lotus lives in the water but never touches the water.
I don't think you can explain situation in one area with metaphors from another. How can you argue political problem in terms of vague spiritual concepts? Their nature is completely different.
Sometimes a variety of examples help us to understand or appreciate the problem better. In the ways there is a variety of flowers, and that variety helps us better appreciate the idea of flowers. From any point of view, Krishna can resolve all problems. Why just the problems of Irishmen or Englishmen? All problems. That is called unity in diversity. Our students come from different backgrounds, but because they are all in Krishna consciousness, they are unified.
Just wait, wait.
Very.
Yes, Prabhu.
So here, O'Grady is arguing with Srila Prabhupada, saying that you are giving such examples and all that, but is there some practical thing that can happen? So then Prabhupada gives the example, saying that look at us, we are unity in diversity. So many students come from various backgrounds, and we live under the same temple, and we are not fighting with each other. We are trying to serve Krishna. So this unity in diversity will be achieved if we are all Krishna conscious. So therefore he says to O'Grady that becoming Krishna conscious is very important. Then peace will be there. Go ahead.
Very good. Very good. Yes, I expect that. I would like to know, though, that when you say Krishna consciousness, is there any difference between that and Christ consciousness?
Christ.
No, no, there is no difference. Christ came to preach the message of God. If you actually become Christ conscious, you become Krishna conscious.
And does become Krishna conscious or God conscious mean become self conscious? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
That
Yes,
is
Prabhu.
Self
conscious of
conscious,
uh,
that is conscious
of
who
who.
we really are.
Yes, God consciousness includes self consciousness, but self consciousness is not necessarily God consciousness.
But it may be
No,
one may achieve consciousness of the God that is within.
that means He is God conscious. You are now in the sunlight, and consciousness of the sun includes your ability to see yourself. In the darkness, you cannot see yourself. At night, you can't even see your own hands or legs. But if you come before the sun, you see the sun and yourself also. Without sunlight, without God consciousness, self consciousness is incomplete. However, God consciousness makes self consciousness very clear.
We meet a lot of young people in our teaching professions, and we don't try to teach them any kind of dedicate salvation. We do try to direct them towards an awareness of that is best and what is most beautiful and what is the most spiritually nourishing in the world about them. That is, insofar as the system allows us, very frequently the students are not natural enough to be in a spiritual condition. They are more in an emotional one. What we are feed faced with often is the basic question of who I am I, or what is it all about,
Yes,
or they ask why am I here.
So
yes,
he O'Grady is saying that many students ask these questions: who I am, what is it all about, why I am here, why I am suffering, what is death, is there something after death? These are same questions that the Vedanta asks us. Atha to Brahma Jigyasa. Now that you have got human form of body, you do Brahma Jigyasa. You ask the questions of the Brahman, the eternal. Therefore, Prabhupada says, yes, very good.
We are asked, why should I be here? Who are you? Teacher, and what gives you the right to tell us what to think or what to be or what not to be? Why should I read Shakespeare? Why should I listen to Mozart? I prefer Dylan. These kind of questions seem to emanate from a very disillusioned state of mind. and insecurity and uncertainty and a lack of credibility in the total structure of things as they are. Frequently, we have to answer these questions in a Catholic sort of way. Rather than presenting direct answer, we must answer indirectly, taking account of the conditioning that prompted student to ask these questions in the first place. Do you think that we should try to reach them more directly?
You are talking about the problem of,
Modern education.
yes, so many questions are there, but they are not answered by modern education. Why have I come here? What is the purpose? These questions should be answered perfectly. Therefore, the Vedas enjoin Tadvijnanartham Sagurum Evabhigachet. To find answers to all these questions, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master.
What if you have known? What if you are told that Mr. Nixon is the bona fide spiritual master? What do we do?
No, no. There is a standard for bona fide spiritual masters. You have only heard one line of the verse. Who is the spiritual master? That is the next line. Srotriyam Brahma Nishtam. The word Srotriyam refers to one who has heard from another bona fide source. A spiritual master is he who has taken the message from another qualified spiritual master. This is just like a medical man who has taken the knowledge of medical science from another medical man. Similarly, the bona fide spiritual master must come in a line of successive spiritual masters. The original spiritual master is God.
Yes, granted.
One who has heard from God explains the same message to his disciples. If the disciple does not change the message, he is a bona fide spiritual master. That is our process. We take lessons by hearing from Krishna, God, and from him understand who is perfect, or we hear from his representative. We does not contradict Krishna and who has realized his message. It is not that we speak one thing and do all nonsense. One who does so is not a spiritual master.
Now there is my poor old father living in Western Ireland. A simply old man, 78 years now. Younger generation, he has gotten to the point at his age where he says, they tell me, the priests, they tell me ultimately that it's God who knows. But I want to know who told God. Then he comes to me and says, you went to school and you read books. Tell me, who told God? So I have no answer. That is the difference between 78 and 39 years.
No, it is not a difference of age. The difference is knowledge. In the Brahma Sutra, the question is raised, who is God? First of all, there is this question.
Who thought God?
No. First of all, there is the question who is God. Then we shall ask who taught God. The Vedanta Sutra says, Atatho Brahma Jijnasa. Now we should inquire who is God. Unless you know who God is, how can you raise the question of who instructed God? If you don't know God, the question does not arise who instructed God. Is this not so?
Yes.
Who God is explained in the Brahma Sutra. Janmadi asya yataha. God is he from whom everything emanates. That is God, the supreme being from whom everything emanates. Now, what is the nature of that supreme being? Is he a dead stone or a living entity? That is also explained. Janmadi asya yato anvayat इतरस्तश्चार्तेस् अभिजानः स्वराट्. The Supreme Being is fully cognizant of everything, directly and indirectly. Unless He is fully cognizant of everything, He cannot be God. Then the question that you raised comes: who taught God? And that is also answered Swarat. He is fully independent. He does not need to take lessons from anyone. That is God. If one needs to take lessons from others, he is not God. Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita and he did not have to learn it from anyone. I had to learn it from my spiritual master, but Krishna did not have to learn it from anyone. One who does not need to take lessons from others is God.
Where does woman love come in?
Everything is coming from God. Being part and parcel of God, we manifest partial love because the original love is there in Him. Nothing can exist if it is not in God. Therefore, love is there in God.
And manifestations of love are manifestations of God.
Unless the loving propensity is there in God, how can we manifest it? A son born of a particular father has the symptoms of the father. Because the loving propensity is in God, we have that same propensity.
Maybe love is generated in you by the need.
No, there is no question of maybe. We are defining God in absolute terms. Janmadhyasya. God is He from whom everything has emanated. The fighting propensity is also there in God, but His fighting and His loving are absolute. In the material world, we experience that fighting is just the opposite of loving. But in God, the fighting propensity and the loving propensity are one and the same. That is the meaning of absolute. We learn from the Vedic scriptures that when the so called enemies of God are killed by God, they attain liberation.
Is it possible to arrive at this understanding of God alone?
No. Therefore, we have cited this verse Tad vijnanartham sa gurum evabhigachet. The word abhigachet means must. It is not possible alone. In Sanskrit grammar, this is called the vidhilin form of a verb, and this form is used when there is no choice. The word abhigachet means that one must approach a guru. That is the Vedic version. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, you will find that Arjuna was talking to Krishna, but when he saw that things were not being resolved, he surrendered himself to Krishna and accepted him as his guru. कार्पण्यदोषोपहता स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयः स्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेहं साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. So here we can see that Arjuna is confused about his duty.
Is this duty to the self, to others, or to the state?
A soldier's duty is to fight with the enemy. Arjuna was a soldier, and Krishna advised him the opposite party is your enemy, and you are a soldier. Why are you trying to be non violent? That is not good. Then Arjuna said, actually, I am confused. In this confusion, I cannot make the right decision. I therefore accept you as my spiritual master. Please give me the proper lesson. In a chaotic condition, in a confused state of life, one should approach another who is in full knowledge of the matter. You go to a lawyer to solve legal problems, and you go to a physician to solve medical problems. Everyone in the material world is confused about spiritual identity. Therefore, our duty to approach a bona fide spiritual master who can give us real knowledge.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I am very confused.
So you must approach a spiritual master.
And he makes a decision on how to help me stop this confusion.
Yes, the spiritual master is one who solves all confusion. If the spiritual master cannot save his disciple from confusion, he is not a spiritual master. That is the test. సంసార ధావనాల నలలీఢలోక త్రాణాయ కారుణ్య ఘనాఘనాత్వం ప్రాప్తస్య కళ్యాణ గుణార్ణవస్య వందే గురు శ్రీ చరణారవిందం. This whole confused world is just like a blazing forest fire. In a forest fire, all the animals are confused. They do not know where to go to save their lives. In the blazing fire of the material world, everyone is confused. How can that blazing forest fire be extinguished? It is not possible to utilize your man made fire brigade, nor is it possible to simply pour buckets of water. The solution comes when rain from the clouds falls on the forest fire. Only then can the fire be extinguished. That ability is not in your hands, but is in the mercy of God. So, human society is in a confused state and it cannot find a solution. The spiritual master is one who has received the mercy of God and he can deliver the solution to the confused man. One who has received the mercy of, what is, how can you move a bit? Mercy of become a spiritual master and deliver that mercy to others.
Hare Krishna. The problem is to find this spiritual master.
That is not the problem. The problem is whether you are sincere. You have problems, but God is within your heart. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam. God is not far away. If you are sincere, God sends you a spiritual master. Therefore, God is also called Chaitya Guru, the spiritual master within the heart. God helps from within and from without. Everything is thus described in the Bhagavad Gita. This material body is like a machine, but within the heart is the soul, and with the soul is the super soul, Krishna, who gives directions. The Lord says, you wanted to do this, now here is the chance. Go and do it. If you are sincere, now, God, I want you. Then He will give you directions. Yes, now you come and get me like this. This is His kindness. However, if we want something else, that is all right. We can have it. God is very kind. When I want something, He is in my heart, directing me and telling me how to have it. So, why should He not give directions on how to have a spiritual master? First of all, we must again be eager to revive our God consciousness. Then God will give us a spiritual master.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My request to you is this: you are a poet, just describe God. You are expert in describing, and therefore I ask you to kindly describe God in your occupation. Then your life will be successful. And if one hears you, his life will also be successful. That is the injunction. Idam hi pumshas tapasah srotasya va
विस्तस्य सुप्तस्य बुद्धिदतयो अविच्युतो अर्थकविभिः निरूपितो यदुत्तमश्लोको गुणानुवर्णः.
There are many leaders in society who are poets, scientists, religionists, philosophers, politicians, and so on. Those who are so expert are given this injunction. Your duty is to perfect your occupation by describing the glories of the Supreme Being.
My experience is that for some extraordinary reason, one is chosen to do a particular thing,
That reason is given here. Avichyutaha, the infallible choice is this. Let them describe the glories of the Lord.
but You were saying that the spiritual master is chosen. The spiritual master, the poet, the priest is chosen by God. This person is chosen to write poems or paint a picture or make a music.
So when you compose music about God. That is your perfection.
When one works for God in his line, that his line becomes his perfection.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So there is particular verse that Srila Prabhupada said. We'll just go there. Learned circles have positively concluded that the infallible purpose of the advancement of knowledge, namely austerity, study of Vedas, sacrifice, chanting of hymns, and charity, culminates in the transcendental description of the Lord, who is defined in choice poetry. So, whoever is advancing in knowledge, doing austerity, study of the Vedas, sacrifice, chanting hymns, charity, ultimately it should be done for the glorification of the Lord or for the service of the Lord. Human intellect is developed by the advancement of learning in art, science, physics, chemistry, psychology. By culture of such knowledge, the human society can attain perfection of life. This perfection of life culminates in realization of the Supreme. The Shruti therefore directs that those who are actually advanced in learning should aspire for the service of Lord Vishnu. Unfortunately, people who are enamored by the external beauty of Vishnu Maya do not understand that the culmination of perfection of self-realization depends on Vishnu. Vishnu Maya means sense enjoyment, that which is transient and miserable. Those who are entrapped by Vishnu Maya utilize advancement of knowledge for sense gratification. Sri Narad Muni has explained that all paraphernalia of the cosmic universe is but an animation from the Lord out of his different energies because the Lord has set it motion by his inconceivable energies, the actions and reactions of the created manifestations. They have come to be out to be his energy. They rest on his energy, and after annihilation, they merge into him. Nothing is therefore different from him. At the same time, the Lord is always different from them. When advancement of knowledge is applied in the service of the Lord, the whole process becomes absolute. The personality of Godhead and his transcendent name, glory, and all that non different from it. Therefore, all the sages, devotees have recommended that the subject matter of art, science, philosophy, psychology, all these values should be wholly and solely applied to the service of the Lord. Art, literature, but it may be used for glorification. Fiction writers, poets, celebrated literatures are generally writing of sensuous objects. But if they turn towards the service of the Lord, they can describe the transformed pastimes of the Lord. Valmiki was such a great poet. Vyasadeva was a great writer. Both of them absolutely engaged themselves in delineating the transcendental activities of the Lord, and by doing so, they became immortal. Similarly, science and philosophy should be applied in the service of the Lord. There is no use of presenting dire speculative theories for sense enjoyment. Philosophy and science should be engaged in to establish the glory of the Lord. Advanced persons are eager to hear the absolute truth through medium of science, and therefore the great scientists should endeavor to prove the existence of Lord on a scientific basis. Similarly, philosophical speculation should be utilized to establish supreme truth as sentient and all powerful. Similarly, all the branches of knowledge should always be engaged in the service of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, also the same is affirmed. All knowledge not engaged in the service of the Lord is but omniscience. Real utilization of self-knowledge, of advanced knowledge to establish the glory of the Lord and that is the real important. Scientific knowledge engaged in the service of the Lord and all the similar activities are actually Hari Kirtan or glorification of the Lord. So many things are there in this world, right? Art, science, psychology, everything. Everything can be put in the service of the Lord. Now, one may be inclined to go to arts, one may be inclined to go to science, okay, so or to chemistry, but all of this can be used in the service of Krishna. Any questions or comments? Any questions, otherwise?
Okay, how to seek guru, like where to find a spiritual master?
Yeah, first Prabhupada says we have to be sincere.
Yeah.
And sincere means we are not finding guru for fashion. Sometimes people out of fashion want to find guru. Just because they want to put it on their message, WhatsApp message that this is my guru or something. That is not sincerity. Sincerity means I want to really solve these problems of life. So like this, these questions were there. Now, who am I? Where I've come from? Is it? These are real questions which modern science don't answer, right?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Science
Yeah.
is not addressing
So,
this
so
aspect.
yeah. So if we have these questions, then we are very sincere. Okay. Now God is Chaitya Guru. He sees our sincerity and then he directs to the right guru. If he sees insincerity, if he sees that okay, we want a guru who is a blessing guru, okay, I just want to go him and give me ashirwad and all that, then he will send you to that kind of guru. Then there are some who just want guru for fashion. Oh, this guru is very nice, he talks very nicely, lives very nicely, he drives two-wheeler, four-wheeler, does trekking and all that. Wow, I like to be like him, so therefore he's my guru. So that sincerity is not on the basis of Athayatu Brahma Jigyasa. That sincerity is basis on the enjoyment that he wants with the Guru. So that is not the sincerity that Prabhupada is asking or Shastras are asking. The sincerity is, who am I? Why I am suffering in this world? So if these questions are troubling us, then when we go out to find Guru, Krishna will give us a Guru. Getting?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji, getting.
Yeah.
So Prabhuji, there are two aspects. One is theoretically knowing, like being aware of this, that I have to seek guru in this way, sincerity, etc. Second one is practical aspect, Prabhuji, like whatever we are doing, whether it is going in that direction or not. So, what any like
Yeah. Understand your question.
parameters? Yeah, yeah, Prabhuji.
Okay. So first I talked about that one should be sincere.
Yes.
And I told you what it means by sincere. What should be driving us to find a guru? Why I am here? Why I'm suffering? Okay. That is the first thing. So Krishna in the heart he sees, these are real questions. So I'll send him to the guru. The second thing is, see, a bamboo and a sugar cane, they look the same, right?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Therefore, when we are trying to find sugar cane, we should have some idea of what is sugar cane. So one should know what is who is a guru. Okay, who is a guru? And there Prabhupada said that he follows what he teaches. Okay, he's sincere to what he teaches. Then he has heard in disciplic succession the spiritual knowledge. Okay,
Yes, yes.
so basically he has heard disciplic succession spiritual knowledge starting from, now we'll only focus on Krishna, right? So starting from Krishna. Okay, so his disciplic succession should not be started by someone else, but it should be started from Krishna. Now in today's world, in the Sanatana Dharma, there are four Vaishnav sampradayas. Shri Sampradaya, started by Lakshmi Devi, which is in the south. Kumara Sampradaya, started by Kumaras when they heard the knowledge from Krishna. Rudra Sampradaya started by Lord Shiva, and there is Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya started by Lord Brahma himself. Okay, and that's the Bhagavad Gita that we are discussing, which comes in Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. This is the disciplic succession: Krishna, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Madhva. This Madhva is from Udupi Madhavacharya, and in his disciplic succession comes Madhavendra Puri, Ishwara Puri, and then Lord Chaitanya. From here, it is called Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So Gaudiya Desh is the Bengal. So Lord Chaitanya appeared over there, so it became Gaudiya. And again, it will continue like this from Bhakti Bhakti Prabhupada. It will continue. Getting?
Yeah, thank you, Prabhupada.
Yeah. So that is the thing, and then we should know who is a guru, what is he, how, and all that. He should not be after money. He should have genuine concern for the disciple. He should follow what he is teaching, right?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, he should follow what he's teaching. So if we keep if so it's like if we go to buy sugarcane, we should know that it's sweet. So even if somebody gives us a bamboo and we know, okay, we have to bite it, and then after biting nothing, no sweetness come, then we can throw it away, right? Similarly, there are so many gurus in the market now. Some gurus are bamboo and some are sugarcane. So we have to go for sugarcane only. Okay. Okay. Any questions or comment at this point? Any questions? Okay, no questions. So it's 8:30. We will stop here today. Okay. Tomorrow we'll continue with chapter number 8. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.